Welcome back to Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerantz. Thank you so much for joining us. We are joined by Matt Catingub. He is the artistic director and conductor of the Glendale Pops Orchestra. Before we talk about the orchestra, I want to talk about you because you have an amazing career. Tell us about some of your gifts.
Well, I've been lucky because I was born into a musical family. My
Right.
mother was a jazz singer, and I grew up here in the Los Angeles area and got a chance to perform and arrange and conduct and orchestrate for many of the great performers in the world.
And you are known for orchestrating both jazz, Hawaiian?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice
Well, Hawaii,
look.
I spent 8 years, or about 12 years actually in Hawaii as their principal pops conductor for the Honolulu Symphony. Unfortunately, the Honolulu Symphony is no longer. But so yeah, and I was able to do a lot, kind of develop a lot of what I'm bringing to Glendale there.
And let's talk about that because we are in the midst of Glendale season. We have 3 concerts coming up. Before we talk about the Glendale Pops, for those that don't know, what exactly is a Pops orchestra?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking.
Please.
Pops is basically, well, an orchestra, as we all know, is basically something that's been around for
Of course.
centuries.
Yes.
And they play classical music and all the music of the masters going all the way back, many hundreds of years. But in the 20th century, the Pops concept came around, and basically Pops is anything that's not classical.
It's very accessible.
Yes, it has made orchestras, if you will, accessible to the public because you're bringing in musical styles or musical artists that are familiar to a more general public, and so one helps the other because that general public comes in and hears and sees an orchestra maybe for the first time.
Right.
Even.
I have to say, to me, they're pure fun and they are family friendly. Because if you take teens or tweens to a classical orchestra, it can be a little tricky.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you take them to what's coming up on December 9th, February 10th, and May 11th, they'll have a great time.
Well, and I'm sure we'll get to it, but like some of the artists we have coming up, for them, it's a thrill too, because it's not very often you get to stand in front of a large orchestra. Our orchestra once coming up a little over 40 piece. So it's more of a contemporary size orchestra. Some symphonies can be 60, 70 pieces, but this is purposely just a little smaller for commercial purposes.
December 9th, the Holiday Pop Concert. It's at the Alex Theater in Glendale. Special guest, David Benoit.
And
David
Benoit.
Yeah. Well, see, what do I know? And tell us about that concert.
Well, David is actually one of the great jazz pianists, the smooth jazz pianist, actually, they call it. And he's also the keeper, if you will, of the Charlie Brown music. And that's one of the things he's done. So he'll be doing a lot of the Charlie Brown Christmas for that concert.
I have that album.
Yes, it's fabulous.
It's probably 25 years old.
Yeah, and so that's what he does. And we're also going to be debuting our youth choir.
Right, tell us about that.
Well, we're putting together a youth choir of all ages, but in the Glendale area, and something brand new. They've never done it before. We're putting them all together so they can do a few or 3 or 4 selections with a full orchestra.
What a treat.
It's an experience that most kids can really
I will admit I'm pretty much stuck in the 70s. I admit that. And as a result, I love Kenny Loggins.
Yes,
and he is coming on February 10th to the Alex Theater. Tell us about that.
Kenny is a good friend. He first came to Hawaii for me. I arranged and orchestrated all his arrangements for the orchestra, so we were doing all those, plus some new things. Listen, Kenny's music is timeless, as you say, but with an orchestra,
forget it.
Yeah,
forget it.
It's ridiculous.
And then on May 11th.
Yeah, Dave Cause, a dear friend of mine, smooth jazz, literally, a saxophonist extraordinaire, puts on an incredible show. Once again, I've
seen him in Vegas.
Yep, I've had him in Hawaii for the first time, and bringing him here to Glendale for everyone to hear. It's going to be just fantastic.
I cannot wait. I'm going to go. I promise.
I will see you there.
I will see you there. If you want to buy tickets yourself, go to alextheater.org or glendalearts.org. My name is Brad Palmer. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks for watching Local Edition. We're going to send you back to HLN.